strategy to every game, and that's good communication.
Stewart charging that one down, hoping that Dicko can use his pace. Against Nottingham Forest. Hull also knocked out Blackburn, who are going well in League One. Away from home, it looked a tricky tie. They did it. Fabregas. Lovely ball, wasn't it? Emerson to play it in. And Giroud looking to make a nuisance of himself. It took him 7 games to open his account for Arsenal. This is his 3rd game for Chelsea.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get hold of it, could he? He was looking to try and get a shot in. But I think that's why he's playing him tonight. There's no doubt about it. It'll be a good game for him to get off.
Tonight working his way back from a back injury at the moment. Dicko to play it inside. Wilson couldn't quite gather that one in. And here's Willian again. Myler struggling to keep pace with him, and it was just ahead of Olivier Giroud.
Lovely break, wasn't it, from Chelsea? 2-3 passes and then on the back of Hull. Beautiful cross. Giroud just wasn't reading the situation quick enough.
Good play by Jackson Irvine. Won the League Cup in Scotland with Ross County. They knocked out Celtic in the semi-final. Going to be Max Clark to take this free kick. 22-year-old local boy to Hull. Getting a run in the team now. He's been loaned down to Cambridge last couple of years.
Yeah, it's wasteful, isn't it? There's not many occasions when they're going to be able to get 6 or 7 bodies forward in free play. This is the goal again. Look, he's just used the defender to curl it round him. Keeper can't see it, really. Too many bodies in his way. Beautifully executed from Willian. As I was saying, those set plays are important. The ball's got to be put right on the money. If they're putting 6 or 7 players up from set plays, that's where they're going to get something. You can't see them really flowing forward with 6 or 7 players in the last third of Chelsea's. There's that skill. Let's have a look. And he flicks it the outside. You know what? I might be wrong here. I'm not sure he looked to pass it. I think it might have been for himself.
Either way, it was pretty sensational, wasn't it?
It's lovely what he did. Yes, great skill.
Here's Dicko. Comes off Cahill.
Again, set play, centre-backs go up, bodies in the box. This is the chance that Hull have got. Set plays.
Now, Nigel Atkins says they've been playing a lot better recently, not always reflected in results, but that was a very good one they had last week away to Nottingham Forest. Stewart to play it in here. And the header, well, Irvine couldn't quite keep that down, but it was a bit of a chance.
It was half a chance, yeah. They've caught Chelsea napping a little bit, and he's got a little bit of space. To get space around the penalty spot like that, you'd expect him to hit the target at least. It wasn't an easy chance, but one that he might have hit the target on.
Played long towards Willian, who got lost in the traffic, rather. When it comes to Myler. Cut up by Ampadu, who can play midfield as well. It's his 4th start for Chelsea. He played against Hull City last year for Exeter when he was 15.
I like the way he's calling his 2 centre-backs up. It doesn't matter that he hasn't got the experience. He's the one dictating. He's dropping in behind them. Look, you just see him sweeping here now defensively. But if he wants to squeeze the pitch up, he's confident enough to tell them, and they'll come with him. And that's really good play for a youngster.
And the emergence of a player like him, and of course Andreas Christensen, massive pluses for Chelsea going forward. The players pretty determined that this season won't degenerate in the one in the same way it did a couple of years ago, of course, when everything went to pieces. They finished 10th in a shocking defence of the title. Of course, the Champions League very much on the agenda here. What a game that's going to be against Barcelona, and you'll see it live with us on PT Sport. Drinkwater to play this one forward. It's another stab at it. Zappacosta. Pedro. Giroud. Well, you wondered for a moment there, was that going to be his first Chelsea goal?
Well, it's probably his best chance he's had in a blue shirt, but what a little ball this is from Pedro. It's a nice little switch from Drinkwater. Look at this first touch there, and this little dinky ball there. He's onside, it's a chance. He's actually waited for it to come across his body for his favoured left foot. It actually favoured a right-footed finish. He just couldn't keep it down, could he? Yeah, Conte knows. Get him off the mark.
You always want that, don't you, when you're a striker that's been signed for a bit of money.
And the manager does as well.
Yeah. Fabregas head up, looking around to see the options. Pedro's one of them. Oh, and you wonder whether that ball was even going to nestle in the corner of the net after it.
It was great defending in the end, but a lovely run and a lovely ball again from Fabregas. You can't give Fabregas this sort of time and space. Beautifully weighted in between the keeper and defender, and in the end Dawson does really well, but beautifully weighted pass.
It was a good bit of defending, wasn't it, by Dawson? He had to win that. Here's the corner kick taken by Fabregas. Struggling to get out a bit. Hull City here. Fabregas again this time. He doesn't manage to play it into the danger area.
Already there's about 3 or 4 different Chelsea players have got the radar. They've got the sights. They're playing some beautiful passes.
Stewart. Here's Dicko. It's a shame young Jarrod Bowen couldn't play tonight at Stamford Bridge because of his hamstring injury. He's looked exciting and was definitely the star of the win in the 4th round. Here's Diomande. Now Harry Wilson. Myler. Going to get the cross in. Again, Willian turning on the party pieces. Looks like he might be in the mood tonight. nicely as Costa, hoping to set things up. Rudiger. Now Willian. Lovely goal from him in 106 seconds tonight.
There's another example that Hull just cannot get out, can they? Deco's staying right up. He's not coming in behind the ball. He's staying right on the centre-backs at Chelsea. So that ball has to be played over the top, really. They're trying to play through Chelsea.
Stewart's rather clumsy challenge. It's Cahill for Chelsea.
In the end, it was more clumsily done
5 times already
from Stewart than it was anything else.
Kevin Stewart came to Hull when Andy Robertson went the other way.
In the final.
A permanent transfer, the fullback Robertson, who's at Anfield now. Here's Willian in the middle of the half.
Willian.
And so that's about the same.
The other night for
6-3-1. 6-3-1.
I had to count because there's so many.
Favour in the business.
Stripy Tigers across the edge of the box. Giroud with a cross that deflects up and bounces in the box awkwardly. Pedro was trying to get hold of it. Hull have cleared it, kind of. But again, they're giving it back quickly, and Emerson now coming down the inside left channel. Going for the byline, and is blatantly pushed over. What a stupid challenge from David Mailer that was, because he's played for it, Emerson, completely. He wasn't going to do anything with that, and Mailer's barged him over. What a blank.
Very clever for Emerson.
Well, but I mean, why stick the arm that Mailer stuck his arms up?
I'm just
He's
saying,
an idiot. So it should be a goal kick. It should have been a goal kick, and Mailer couldn't resist.
Yeah, he's come across and overcommitted, but I think Emerson has won that as opposed to Mailer giving that away, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Willian has a free kick just 2 yards outside the box, well left of well to the left, obviously, just up from the byline, 6 yards up from the byline on that stripe of grass. Great chance this, and look how deep everyone is, right in there on the keeper.
Into the box. I'm just looking at Willian. I'm sorry, looking at Pedro.
And Fabregas is going for it. Marshall beats it out. Emerson's nearly there. Flags up anyway.
That's disappointing. They were. I was going to say, who's that standing in the middle of the goal? Was it?
I think Eric Cahill.
It looked like Cahill.
I thought it was Cahill, the one nearest.
Oh, it's a free kick. It's Antonio.
The City there, Mr. Carvalhal, going back to Hillsborough. Midday, BT Sport 2 HD and 4K UHD for that one, and that'll be followed by all the latest scores and BT Sport score from 2:45.
You know what I mean? It's not blue, it's not green, it's sort of turquoisey.
Really
I made my debut in the Jade Short.
Oh, Ampadu! The
C'è un mercato.
Irving made a great run in there, didn't he? It was dangerous. If it had landed on his head, I think he would have been in for a goal there.
Willian, fantastic control, accelerated into the space. It's a great piece of play so far from the Brazilian here, and there's a chance for 2-0. Not taken. Marshall foiling Pedro.
Yeah, it's wonderful play from Chelsea from in their own penalty area. Ampadu with a lovely little ball over the top to Willian. The pace shifting through the pitch quickly, and at the other end Pedro gets that shot in. Yeah. They do look up for it tonight. I've got to say, they're really enjoying passing that ball, the movement off the ball. Impressed with Chelsea at the moment.
They've had to quell talk of a crisis, the constant speculation about Antonio Conte's future. He's come out and said the club would be stupid to sack me. Fabregas waited for Pedro, takes it down beautifully. That's a lovely goal by Chelsea. Pedro set up with sublime skill by Cesc Fabregas. 2-0.
It's just wonderful, it really is. Number one, it's fabulous centre forward play from Giroud. Strength, hold up, first time late. Here's the ball, it comes into Giroud. Look at this, he uses his strength. Here's the ball here, bang. Strength, leans in, first time again. You can't defend against that. What a good bit of movement, beautiful take. And this time, Pedro just keeps a calm, cool head, slides it down the side of the keeper. Wonderful football from Chelsea.
Scored 4 goals in the FA Cup in the run to the final last year, on the mark, and that was expertly fashioned and just as expertly taken. It's starting to look a long night for Hull City.
Yes, it certainly is. They've got to stay with it. They've got to make sure they get to half-time, just 2 goals down, maybe get a couple of more corners, set plays, get something from the game. But Chelsea, as I said earlier, look really up for this.
Joe went in to try to get that ball. He didn't get it, though. It was Zappacosta did. Five of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have ended with Chelsea winning the game exactly 2-0. They've already established that lead pretty early on in the piece here inside the first half an hour.
Yeah, from Chelsea's point of view, they've just got to keep this going. Don't knock off from this really good attitude. They're working hard to win the ball back. They're not pressing Hull. They're coming back to the halfway line, making it difficult for Hull. But with the ball, they've got some lovely movement off the ball. And they've got some really good players that can purvey it and see it with the vision that they've got from that midfield area.
And Kevin Stewart in the middle of the Chelsea half.
The longer the game goes on, of course, then I'll give you another toe.
They give me another toe every 10 minutes. Is that what you'll do?
10 minutes.
Okay. 10 minutes a toe. How did I not know it was called the great toe? That's its official medical jargon.
That's its official,
right.
the great toe.
Great toe.
Great toe.
That's much better. He's trod on his great toe. I'm going to say that from now on. Right. Cahill. Into Willian, who's another flick of the trick. I'll tell you what, Giroud's won it back off Kevin Stewart. Willian's taken over to the D. Oh, he's done it again. He's curled in with the right foot this time. This is ridiculous. 3 goals from the very top draw in half an hour for Chelsea. How many toes now?
I'll give you a foot, Ben.
I'm
going to give you a foot.
3-0. Wow. But, you know, Hull have been undone by 3 quite brilliant goals.
They have left foot and now the right foot from Willian. He guides it in. There's not a lot Marshall could do. But Giroud, again, talk about the goals. He's not scored there, but look, his industry there. Allows the ball. It's a tackle that comes in, edge of the box. He just guides it in. He sees the space. Giroud does enough to give it to him. It's good play from the centre forward. He just guides it in, hits the inside of the post. And Chelsea have one big, fat foot into the quarterfinals.
The thing is, if you're Hull, you come here, you hope Chelsea have an off night and maybe they don't bring their finishing boots. But as it's turned out, they brought their finishing boots.
I just wonder how much it is, though, Ben, down to having a centre forward. Honestly, I do. I don't want to take any away from Batchway away at Norwich, but I did feel that we lacked a focal point to our attack. And
card for Kevin Stewart, by the way,
right,
people, for a challenge in the middle of the park there. But yes, go on.
Listen, who knows? Batchway, under a different manager, may come back to Stamford Bridge and have an illustrious career.
Well, he's a great finisher.
And I'm definitely not writing that off just yet, but I think in terms of a focal point to our attack...
No, for this, yes, for the Conte shape of playing football, it doesn't work.
Giroud has had a hand in a big hand in 2 of the 3 goals here today.
And the opener the other night for Eden Hazard, in the classic centre-forward role.
Either direct, yes, absolutely.
So, you know, that was 3-0, this is 3-0. He's been involved in half the goals. And he might have had one himself. Now Emerson, offside, yeah, surely. Yes, flag's gone up. There was a long ball from Rudiger to Emerson, right to left, but he'd gone a little early as he stole into the box. But he'll be enjoying this. It couldn't get more comfortable on debut than 3-0 already, could it?
Not at all.
And he was just off, yes.
We've not really seen much of him.
No.
I don't remember talking about him a lot, although we've been watching him. He's not done anything
been about that front 3, hasn't it? And Fabregas killing him.
What this does do, of course, it gives the manager a real opportunity to now look at his team and look forward to Barca. Now, we often talk about having 24 hours, 48 hours to prepare for a game. In all honesty, Ben, this has been a training ground game. This couldn't have been any kinder for us going into that game. You look at the players that may well have a big involvement in it. I'm looking around the team now. I'm thinking maybe Willian.
Well, if he plays 3 in the middle, neither Willian nor Pedro will play. Never mind. They'd take that, wouldn't they? Blow the whistle at 38.
I think most of the crowd might just say, get ourselves home early. Yeah, we've seen, you know.
Willie Caballero will say, yes, please, I'd like a clean sheet because I keep having them pinched off me in stoppage time at the shed end. So if I don't have to keep goal down there, that'd be great. Dawson gets the better of Giroud, who then, with a high foot, fouls Kevin Stewart. Andre Mariner gives the decision. Giroud smiled and has a look at the ref.
I think it was a bit frustrated. The ball bounced off himself there, Giroud, and in his attempt to rectify that, he's given away a cheap free kick.
Which Dawson has pinged out to that far side. Just to finish off that, I think it was Dawson and Lennon, and Claude Makelele scored an incredible goal for Chelsea. He only scored 2. That was that 2 when I was talking about Bonfire Night. Williams missed a back heel there and dribbled it out of play. And he's on a hat-trick, Mr. FA Cup. He's on a hat-trick. And one more, by the way, and he's in double figures for this season, William. That's a good return.
Very, very handy.
Isn't it? When you think, he's certainly not been I mean, he's not been irregular, but he's been a sub. Let me just check here. I was going to say as much as, it's very nearly as much as. This is his 22nd start, Jace. He's come on in 18, so basically half and half. To be up one off double figures, that's an excellent contribution. Hazard is way top now, with Morata having had a cold streak and Eden having had a hot one. Dawson on the ball, and almost every player is in the Chelsea half now, all bar Angus MacDonald, who's back in his own half for Hull. Harvey St Clair has scored in the PL2. Man United 0, Chelsea 4. Fabulous, and you will be able to see those goals at half-time, so stay with us. Leicester are also playing in the FA Cup tonight against Sheffield United, isn't it?
Sheffield United.
Both Sheffields are in the last 16. And Man City are at Wigan on Monday night, but Chelsea already looking good to be in the draw. How about quarter-final home to Man U again?
I'll take any home draw.
That'll do. Remember, no replays in the quarter-finals anymore in the FA Cup. This is the final round. You can get a replay, and your wish is going to be granted. Well played, Willian. And now Zappacosta, right side, cuts infield, and it was well defended, but Zappacosta still got the ball. No width. Willian goes through the middle, doesn't work. Drinkwater spreads it. Here's Gary Cahill, and he shoots on his left peg. And now Emerson does well, gets to the byline, pulls it back. 4-0. Oh, the new boys are combined. Emerson to Giroud. He's got his first Chelsea goal. Chelsea, right, 1 foot, 3 toes? 1 foot and 4 toes, both feet.
No, 1 foot and a heel.
Only 1 foot and a heel in the last 8. I'm going bin with both feet. Straight red card, 4-0, quarter-final done. And Giroud has opened his Chelsea account. He's now had a hand in 2, scored this one. And, well, this is going perfectly, Jason. The new boys are enjoying themselves. Goals, nice. Goals, goals. Nice. Look out, Barcelona.
Yes, indeed. It's a nice finish from Giroud. He doesn't put too much on it. He gets a good connection. He stabs at the ball with his left foot just on the apex of the 6-yard box. Drills it in towards that goal. I feel sorry for Marshall. He's had no chance playing with any of the goals. There's nothing he could have done.
No, he's done nothing wrong at all.
He's made a good save as well. I mean this. Oh God, this is over. I'll give you 2 feet, Ben. You've got 2 feet.
4-0 before half-time. I went for 4. I think, didn't I? I was obviously too conservative.
I said
2.
I said 2.
It was 2 by about 10 minutes, wasn't it? Now, I'm immediately thinking, as I'm sure Trevor Chalobah and Callum Hudson-Odoi are, honestly, why not? Why even wait for the hour? Why not play the whole second half?
Well, Antonio Conte, this is good now for Giroud. Now, clearly he needs minutes. Do you know what?
But so does Morata.
Yeah, I'm just thinking now, it wouldn't surprise me if Morata gets 35 minutes.
But why not just play the whole half? He needs the minutes too if he's going to play Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's not going to play Barcelona.
He's not. Maybe it's not going to be a 45-minute, it's going to be a training ground game, isn't it? So maybe you could see him at half-time. Maybe that's what we will see.
I mean, I don't see any need, unless he really wants his hat-trick, for Willian or Pedro, for instance, to play over Hudson-Odoi in this day. You know, well, keep them fresh.
For me, one of Rudiger or Cahill, whoever's going to play, has to come off. Now,
there's a long header forward back to the Chelsea box.
That's what you need to do now.
Caballero will collect it, and does. There's no need to bring Victor Moses on, so it's going to be Morata and Kids, right?
Yeah, Morata and Kids.
Not his, I hasten to add. Just, you know what I mean. Fabregas, another brilliant ball down the left channel. Here's Emerson. Mailer and the rest of Hull thinking, oh no. Few step-overs from Emerson. Cahill spreads it. Drinkwater in the middle of the Hull half. Looking for Zappacosta. Nice idea.
Nice idea, yeah.
Goes through to Marshall.
Yeah, Zappacosta's made that run that high wing-backs or full-backs like to make. In Barcelona have been the best over the last decade that I've seen do that, is where they push high and they make that run, that diagonal run in behind their opposite full-back. Very difficult to pick up if you've got someone that can play the pass and they pinpoint that pass. It can be devastating.
2 minutes of added time. I guess we've had 4 goals.
30-second ago.
Yeah, great. Mailer into the mix towards Noah Dicko, wins his header, nods it down. Caballero's there and bowls it out. Oh, he bowled out to Fabregas, who's just spinning on his heels the other way. Giroud comes deep to get it. Emerson chips it up, and now underneath us it's Willian, who's then run it out of play again. That's twice. Shocking half. Mailer's throw. Ivandro did well. Ampadu got his challenge in and offside, so it'll be a free kick.
Ampadu has done, I mean, largely untroubled, but what he has done and been so impressive is the way that he's marshalled that defence and has really kind of controlled the way the back three, and depending where you, of course, you are, the midfield as well. He's been talking to Fabregas, he's been talking to Drinkwater, pushing them up and down. It's been incredibly, in fact, too comfortable.
It is too comfortable, and it's quiet. Yeah. And there aren't many Hull fans, and I'm thinking, I have to say, maybe I shouldn't think like this, but I am thinking about the people who've come from Hull to watch this football match. I mean, I just hope they've got some mates in London that they were planning on making it a weekend with. You know what I mean? People they're going to stay with, you know, Harry and Jeff and whatever, and have a few.
They haven't got off at Euston, literally come from Euston, wherever the trains come into, and straight to Stamford Bridge, and they've got to go back.
Oh, I mean,
to Hull.
Do you know what I mean? To Hull and back, well, nearly. It's the other way around. That's if there's a replay. Now, yeah, sentimental. Here's Dicko underneath us on this right side, back to David Mailer. Andre Mariner's got his whistle in his lips, and that was a very impressive training session, really, for Chelsea, this first 45. Some wonderful touches, passes and finishing. Willian got 2, Pedro got 1, and even Giroud got his first, set up by Emerson. Well done, you boys. Well done, Chelsea boys. 4-0, easy, with 45 still to play.
Said my first word at 1. United mad by 7. Bored at 11. I left school at 16. 18, I worked nights in the castle, but then I stopped pulling pints and started pushing myself. I did things I never dreamed I would, and overcame things I never thought I could. The elements, the distance, the fears, doubts, and all 7 continents. Sure, I was born in Carlisle, but I was made in the Royal Navy. Start your journey, search Made in the Royal Navy.
Big black boots, long brown hair. She's so sweet with her get back stare. Well, I can see you home with me.
New Renault Capture. Capture life. Now available with 0% APR representative from £169 per month.
Hey. 1 pack of razors, please.
Comes to 1965.
What? That's a lot.
Yeah, I don't... Comes with a free gift.
Oh, free gift? That's cool.
Tired of getting beat up by high razor prices? Incredible shaving products for just a few bucks at dollarshaveclub.com.
Oh, free gift.
This is not a cloud. This is a tomato tracked from farm to table on a blockchain, helping keep shoppers safe. This is a financial transaction secure from hacks and threats others can't see. This is a skyscraper whose elevators use IoT data and AI to help thousands get to work safely and efficiently. This is not the cloud you know. This is the IBM cloud. The IBM cloud is the cloud for business. Yours.
What is a flat white?
Oh dear. 2/3 coffee, 1/3 milk, 1/3 foam. Yeah.
It's the complexity of the brewing of coffee and the simplicity of its mastery.
It's all about the micro bubbles.
Macro bubbles.
What is a flat white?
You don't know what a flat white is?
It's like a stronger latte, just with less milk.
The flat white. Thanks. Now at McDonald's.
Men's hair takes on a lot. Head & Shoulders Men Ultra Collection is up to the challenge. Our formula with High Performance Booster gives you up to 100% flake-free, great-looking hair. Head & Shoulders Men Ultra Collection, designed for men. Also try clinically proven solutions. Now save a third at Boots.
Daisy. Marc Jacobs.
So my name's Dominic and I've been a Chelsea fan for the best part of 15 years. My favourite Chelsea memory, I'd say, would be at the beginning of the 4-0 victory over United earlier this season. Usually I like to get to the Grand Stamford Bridge in good time, 2 hours before kick-off, but it was one of those days where I just couldn't get there until pretty much the beginning of the match. So I was following the build-up on my phone and I've literally hit Fulham Broadway with about 3 minutes to go, so I ran all the way around Stamford Bridge up to East Stand Upper, and as I sat down on my seat, 10 seconds passed, I was huffing and puffing away, and Pedro just put it in the back of the net.
I'll tell you what, in the first 30 seconds we're seeing Manchester United's aim, just one centre forward, one come pushing on from midfield and nothing else.
Now, might be a chance here for Pedro, who's round there! What a start! What a start!
I thought it was really fantastic, and it'll be a memory that I'll always cherish here at the Bridge.
Might as well blow for full time, let's be honest. You'd never normally be so confident in a half-time, but let's be honest, it's over as a contest. What beautiful goals we've seen.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that we can really take and say there's been some real quality. OK, the opposition has not been up to scratch, and once you get the goal after two and a half minutes, it kind of set the tone of the game. But
those goals would happen against anyone, right? The passing, beautiful.
Well, you may not get into those spaces, but the finishes are lovely.
That Pedro goal was a special one, though.
Well, they've all had a little bit of zhuzh. You know, they've all had a little bit of something about them, which has kind of added to what's been a pretty easy, and let's be honest, a formality so far. It's four. The game is over now, Ben. I'll give you the 2 feet into the quarterfinals now, and it's now a question of maintaining concentration. Now a question of maintaining that professionalism that we've seen so far. The whole, what are they going to do? Who knows, who cares? But in terms of us, I think we now have to look forward to Barcelona and start to think, and the manager no doubt will have done that probably about 15 to 20 minutes ago, about what he plans so that he can rest those players.
Which is going to be what, Morata getting on quite soon and a couple of kids, right?
Assumably assuming that Morata is going to be the one that starts against Barca, then I expect to see him get maybe 35-ish minutes.
Well, even if it's Giroud then starting against Barca, shouldn't he be coming off? Or does it? Well, Antonio's paid to worry about all of this, but we may well see a Hudson-Odoi or a Sterling or something like that. We're not seeing them playing in the PL2 tonight, partly because this game is on and partly because they are here. But my goodness, the PL2 boys are doing brilliantly away to Man United. 4-0 up at half-time. Sounds familiar. I wonder if Man U's PL2 team are as bad as Hull. Juan Castillo got the first. This is Kylian Hazard making it 2-0. Well done him. And then got even better. Reece James having a cracking season. Don't save those. When he hits it, it stays hit. As solid a connection as anyone. And then Harvey St. Clair. By the way, it's up to 78 minutes now, so not half-time. They're almost finished, actually, up there. 4-0 up. That is brilliant for Joe and the boys. And they are on a seriously good run. I think they have won, let me get this straight, 11 out of their last 14 games across all the different competitions, which, given how much chopping and changing there is, and players in and out, a lot of players coming to Antonio for the Norwich tie and the Newcastle tie and this and Bournemouth and all those things. So, yeah, that's very impressive. So, I mean, now, just you want to see a bit of Hudson-Odoi, don't we? The fans who are here, and it's not exactly a full house.
Well,
but
it's about what we do against Barca. You know, look at the starting lineup. Rudiger or Cahill, one of those is going to start, OK? Whoever's going to start, take him off now.
Cesc is going to probably start, yeah?
I would have to think that we're going to play a 5 across the middle, therefore Cesc has to start, get him off. And then, of course, Giroud and Morata change those two as well. So there are your changes. That's the way I see it. But, of course, I'm not paid to make those decisions. I'm paid up here.
Yes, indeed, and we'll pick up commentary shortly after this break, and then we'll be down there in the dugout for extra time at the bridge. We will be celebrating Chelsea's place in yet another quarter-final. That'll be 10 in 11. That's a heck of a record, and it's a heck of a half-time scoreline. See you shortly.
There's a new way to drive. With a car that parks itself. Uses a single pedal for acceleration and deceleration. Senses and adapts to the surrounding traffic. With a car that's filled with innovation and nothing but innovation. The new Nissan Leaf. Simply amazing.
Take off for New York with Expedia. At Expedia, you can book your flight, hotel, car hire and activities all in one place. Expedia, atoll protected.
This is not a cloud. This is a tomato tracked from farm to table on a blockchain, helping keep shoppers safe. This is a financial transaction secure from hacks and threats others can't see. This is a skyscraper whose elevators use IoT data and AI to help thousands get to work safely and efficiently. This is not the cloud you know. This is the IBM cloud. The IBM cloud is the cloud for business. Yours.
We start the day with a Colombian, a Guatemalan, or a piping hot Costa Rican.
And a Danish to go. We drive German, Japanese, German, and we ride Taiwanese.
We watch American movies on Korean tablets.
And struggle with Swedish flat packs. Our heroes hail from Chile, Argentina, Brazil, and often Belgium. We eat Chinese, Italian, Indian, and go Dutch. Some of our best friends are Mexican, Siberian, Hungarian,
and French.
We live on a wonderful little lump of land in the middle of the sea. But we are not an island. We are part of something far, far bigger.
Tell me, it is your house, isn't it? You've been living there for 7 years.
For the last time, does your door lock conform to British standards BS 3621?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
Some home insurance questions can feel impossible to answer, so we don't ask them. Get a quote, not a quiz, at Aviva.
We can't do all the things you do. We can't drill, taper, trim, or find the perfect cut. No. But we can help you meet the few thousand more people who don't just live down the street. Help you fix his bike, her bike, his bike. And here, a few more times a day. Let's show the world what you can do.
Here are your latest headlines from Cobham as the first team squad have a late training session today.
Welcome to training.
Fresh and fully focused, the first team group came together this afternoon. It was a short, sharp session.
Nice sunny day.
I'm a Chelsea player now.
I signed with the best club of England and I'm so happy, so proud. I can't wait for play at the Stamford Bridge.
Where I want to be, and I'm really happy to sign this new contract.
It's a huge club and it just fits me perfect.
He's everywhere. I think sometimes when I'm on the pitch, I see him twice.
To meet them today is good for us, good for them.
Tomorrow, Chelsea go in search of another. Oh!
See you soon, guys.
Welcome back to Stamford Bridge, where the big news is Clive Walker's just dropped his sweets everywhere, and secondary to that is that Hudson-Odoi is apparently coming on for Pedro at half-time here, but we haven't seen everybody yet, or sorry, anybody yet. The officials are coming out, and I think that's Hudson-Odoi has just been called over. He's going to get 45. Here come Hull. I bet they can't wait to play 45 more minutes of this. Michael Dawson leads them out.
I'm guessing there's a few that aren't quite aware what this young man, Hudson-Odoi, has got under the bonnet. There's some cones out there that the Hull players could have used to warm up. None of them did. Or very few. They may well live to regret that.
And here come the Chelsea boys. And Pedro indeed has not come out. Wonder if that is a Barcelona clue. I think it might not be, personally, but anyway, it is he that is removed. So we're going to see, all being well, 45 minutes of the next big hope, and it is a big hope, and he's having a lot of hope thrust upon his young shoulders, but with good reason. He is absolutely lightning. He's the business, as much as a 17-year-old can be, and we're going to see some of that here, and don't be surprised if he scores or makes a goal. He's going to enjoy running at a beleaguered Hull, who frankly have their minds elsewhere. They're not even at full strength either. They're down at the wrong end of the Championship, and they've got to play 45 more minutes against the Chelsea side, who are loving every bit of this. They will be devastated that Fabregas is still on the pitch, that's for sure. And indeed Willian. So Chelsea in blue will play from left to right in this second half. Andre Mariner just waiting for the signal that he can get going from the TV man down there, and indeed he can now. And Hull kick off, and Kevin Stewart bangs one long down the channel, and Zappacosta heads it towards Antonio Conte. And Hull are on the front foot straight away in this over. Well done, Fabregas. Gets back, a little backheel to Willian, up to Giroud, to Drinkwater, to Hudson-Odoi. That's brilliant passing football from everybody. And it's gone all the way back to Caballero. They're still knocking it around on the floor, though.
Yeah, nice start to the game, very comfortable. Hudson-Odoi got his first touch out of the way. A nice little flick there from Oliver Giroud in towards Willian, who's ball bounced off what it looked like his shins. He's just hobbled slightly there, Willian. He's rubbing the top of his hip flex, his thigh, if you like, his left thigh. He's limping around, but my guess is he's going to be okay. Although he's still moving a little gingerly. Anyway, Hull has still got the ball.
Now, Hudson-Odoi came on against Bournemouth, and he came on against Newcastle. So this will be his longest stretch. So he didn't get obviously anything like 45.
It's a nice stretch actually.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's not a cameo. It's not go on and try and change the game, which was required of, or certainly asked of him against Bournemouth, which is perhaps not the right time to come on. Certainly not. We're now going to see what this young man has got. He's picking up a really lovely position there, and Cesc pretended to play it into him, and eventually gave it to Danny Drinkwater. But yeah, looking forward to seeing him open his legs and see if he can take on one or two of the Hull players.
Well, his usual PL2 mates are doing a wonderful job. 4-0 winners at Man U at the moment. Now here is Hudson-Odoi, skips in field, little ball into Willian. He followed his pass, Jason. Yeah, likes people who follow a pass. Yeah. Didn't quite work,
yeah. But nice and lively though, Ben, making a direct run.
Now Harry Wilson coming forward, and there's a cheeky challenge from Danny Drinkwater, and frankly, in any other game that would be a booking. I'm trying to get him booked, not like Andre Mariner can hear me, but it's a yellow.
Is it a foul?
Well, what I'm saying is, if Andre Mariner says he's tripped him, then that has to be a yellow card, because he's sprinted way beyond him and it's attacking. But I mean, Hull can't even be bothered to argue it, and why would you? They're going through the motions, frankly. Although I suppose they've got some players here who are trying to play for places in a struggling team, because they are struggling, so they would say, why can't we play? That's a good ball in, free head around the back, and Angus MacDonald should have scored. So on the slide, in the 6-yard box, Ampadu was the covering defender on the far side. He put it behind for a corner, but someone lost Angus MacDonald. It was either Giroud.
He's offside.
Well, he might have been.
He's offside.
It wasn't given, though.
But even so, that's a header across the face of goal. I don't think he's gone for goal.
No, you're right. He's tried to nod it back for Dawson or someone.
Yeah, no one's read it. Then well played.
Ampadu, yeah.
Ampadu.
Hull corner taken short quickly on that far side, the Hull right. Nice little dummy. They have a chance to shoot. Oh no, it's Wilson. It's a penalty. Nailed on. Fabregas has just taken out Harry Wilson at the shed end. Entirely blatant, sloppy late challenge. Fabregas stuck out a leg, and Wilson, the Liverpool loanee, had gone beyond it. Caballero and his shed end clean sheets.
Do you know what though, Ben? It's been a really sloppy start to this game. You know, the second half. Sorry. You know, the header, the clearance, the short corner. They're saying there that maybe he's picked up an injury. It's definitely a penalty, make no mistake of that. Fabregas knows, he looks to the heavens. He's got...
No one even argued. No one said a thing.
Andre Mariner's got... You know, Fabregas has gone over there. I just wonder whether perhaps he's a shoulder injury. Yes, he may well... As he's gone down,
has he done his collarbone? Has he done his collarbone? He's feeling his collarbone.
I hope not.
So do I.
Because that can be a real naughty one, and maybe he's just landed. Let's have another look at this. I think he's just fallen on it, but I don't think there's any. I don't think he
shouldn't have hurt that much, should it? But apparently, yeah, I mean,
the whole of his
strange, and it's on the right one. It's not even the one he landed on. It's not even the one he landed on. Well, he won't want to go off the field. He's a Welsh international, one time over. He played at 16, so. Something Mr. Ampadu will know a bit about, the two of them. But, yeah, it's been a long old delay, this. Is it David Mailer waiting to take it? I don't even know who's going to take it. It looks like it's going to be David Mailer eventually, although he's just talking to Willian at the moment. He's having a laugh with Willian and smiling on the edge of the box. He hasn't even put the ball on the spot yet. Andre Mariner's going to... I think Harry Wilson might be done here. That's very unfortunate for him. He's being escorted over to the far side of the field, and... he's in a lot of pain. He's done something to his collarbone, I think, or his shoulder, but... Anyway, Willy Caballero's had nothing to do. He likes a penalty. Of course, he put Chelsea through to round 4 with a penalty save from Nelson Oliveira at the other end, but he's at his nemesis end, the shed. Mailer against Caballero. Can Willy keep it at 4-0? Oh, hang on, Mailer's going to have to put it on the spot. It's a bit too far forward. Yeah, I mean, I could see green grass from here. What a long stoppage this has been. Here we go then. David Mailer runs up. He's right at the back of the box. Here he comes now. And Willie Caballero saves it. It's not over yet. It is now. Jackson Irvine hits the rebound right at him. And after all that wait, Fabregas goes over to Caballero and says, thanks, mate.
He does love a penalty save, doesn't he?
He does.
Big Willie. He's gone the right way. It's a nice height for him. I don't want to take it away.
Yeah,
but if
he guesses wrong, it's in the corner, and we say...
Of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the sort of height, if you ask the goalkeeper, where do I want to save this penalty, that would be the height. Hudson-Odoi, brilliant.
Oh, Zidane's on the halfway line from Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea's Sheik stays clean as Rudiger pumps one in towards Giroud, who landed and then headed it, and then it's an extraordinary clearance. Up in the air and behind for a corner from Max Clark. That had to be seen to be believed. That was bizarre. It's going to be a Willian corner.
Yeah, he wins the header. He just... I was about to say he's trying to clear it, but I'm not even convinced he tries to clear it there. I don't know whether he was trying to just help it on its way or...
Oh, Wilson's back on, by the way. Wilson is back on for Hull. I tell you what, that huge delay didn't help, did it? From just thinking from Hull's point of view here, Jason. They've cleared the corner, and Hudson-Odoi is back working hard, but he's bumped off it by Nua Dicko on the halfway line, right in front of Nigel Adkins, right underneath us on this near side. Hull in their yellow and black, sorry, gold and black, playing from right to left as we look. David Marshall under pressure from the Matthew Harding end, and a bit of Olivier Giroud passes out to Michael Dawson. 52 played. And, well, Hull are definitely pushing hard to get a goal at least, because they're chucking men forward at every available opportunity here.
Well, they have. They got 5 across the 4 now, but 5.
They're playing 2-3-5. It looks like the old WM.
Yeah, do you remember that? Left, inside, forward, and
inside, left, inside, right. Centre forward, outside, left, outside, right. Yeah, 3 halves. Leicester 1 up on Sheffield United. By the way, that one kicked off before this.
Rudiger's done well, Ben. Really well. You can see there. He's read the pass, and he's got his body just the right side, so the ball skips on. Dicko there just can't get himself across, and again, Rudiger this time lost out, but great reading of the pass played through there by Rudiger.
Hull in possession, right in front of the 2 coaches.
Again, Ethan Ampadu, Ben, pushing up his back line, and what that does, it keeps your back line and your midfield tight. There's no space in which to operate, and then your midfield is tight, your front men, so there's no gaps. He's pushing, he's marshalling, he's pointing. It's been a really mature... Again, look, watch him going up, Ben. He's using his...
I'm entirely watching him and not the ball, yeah.
It's brilliant to watch, it really is. It's great, and that's something that you expect an experienced centre-half...
I expect John Terry to do, or Tony Adams.
That's what John Terry did do. He's marshalling his defence. He is the one at the back there. He is the one that's making all of the decisions and pointing out where we need to be and pushing out the pitch so there's no gaps. And that's sometimes, I think it's fair to say that when we haven't been at our very best, Ben, the gaps between the front man, I think this Wilson is down, I think his shoulder
is gone down again.
I think the gaps between our midfield, our front men and our defence have not been that good. I think there have been spaces.
So yeah, Harry Wilson is going to come off, and the gutting thing for him is that it was all in vain because they didn't even score from the penalty, poor lad. So it really wasn't worth it. So says Fabregas, tripped me up. I won my side of the penalty at the shed end, and Mailer missed it. Cheers, mate. So yeah, he can't continue, and his replacement will be John Toral, who scored last weekend in their win over Forest. John Toral. And that change is being made now from that whole technical area down there. Here comes Toral. They've still got Grosicki on their bench, and Fraser Campbell, who you'll all know, I'm sure, from previous lives at, well, Tottenham, Man United, Palace, quite a few clubs actually, Sunderland. In fact, is there anywhere he hasn't played? More clubs than Cundy. Long ball forward from the right down the inside right channel. Ampadu across, good header, and Rudiger can't stop it from going behind for a corner. 55 on the clock.
Well done, Ampadu again, goes with his runner. It's a decent ball, there's no pressure on the pass, so therefore you've got to go with the runner. You can't allow runners to go off you if there's no pressure on the ball. You've got to stay deep, you've got to go with the runner. And he does that. Rudiger also did the same and defended well.
In comes the corner. Oh, Dawson could and maybe should have scored. Oh, now Ampadu's been kicked in the head.
Oh dear, he's gone down. He's taken a whack.
He has. He's got a lot of cushioning, to be fair, with that massive Barnet, thank goodness, and a Gary Cahill straight over. And of course, you immediately think, well, I know what I immediately think of Ryan Mason.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking.
Oh no, I'm thinking Ryan Mason.
Stick in your head.
Oh, I will see.
In the penalty area.
I'm sorry, you're thinking about that.
Of
oh right, no. Abu Dhabi it was. Yes, kicking John Terry in the head in Cardiff. But as Dion Mand
reminded me a little bit of that.
With an overhead kick, and it was very brave, but thankfully he's up. No, I was just thinking seeing Garrett Cahill against Hull in that box.
Now you've said that.
It's the same box.
Now you said that.
And in case you missed it, folks, Gary Cahill's captain's notes were almost entirely about Ryan Mason in today's matchday programme. It's the last time Hull were here. Hull in possession now on the halfway line. Chelsea getting back into shape, and who are we seeing warming up down there? Carl Scott, Trevor Chalobah and Senor Morata.
Well, I'm looking at the clock, Ben. We're talking 56, nearly 57 minutes. This would be roughly the sort of time I would expect if we're going to see a change for Morata to come on.
There's a shot from the edge of the box coming in there from Jackson Irvine. It's low and it's skiddy, but it's easily held by Willy Caballero, who bowls it out to Fabregas. Willy Caballero,
from William.
Another William back heel. We could put together a nice little, I actually think there probably will be one on the website by the end of the game, actually, a nice little...
What about the end of the season, Ben?
Little montage of...
Pedro, Hazard and William.
Yeah, just
and Morata.
And Hudson-Odoi, who's just pulled one off. And his Drinkwater on the halfway line. And now Rudiger, and it's back to training session again. Drinkwater has Emerson. I want to see a bit more of Emerson, by the way, but Drinkwater's
there we
just
go.
hit a
There's
pass.
his pace.
Well, I tell you, he's quick. He's nearly got there. Is that not a touch in the corner? Oh, Andre Mariner points to... I think David Mailer might have got away with one there, because Emerson almost got round him.
Here's the penalty save.
Now look, Willian and Mailer mucking about. And, yeah.
It's a good save.
It is. I mean, he had to wait an age. I wonder if he changed his mind. But there's a big high five from Fabregas coming over saying, well, thank you, big man.
He's helped his mate out, right?
And Willian grinning in the aftermath of it. Job done, whatever is said. And which suddenly makes me think of Branislav Ivanovic and Leo Messi, given that we're in Barcelona mode.
I don't think what game you're talking about.
Nah. Long ball coming through here, and Ampadu will let it roll for Caballero, and... oh my goodness. I think we're going to see Kyle Scott.
Oh, it's nearly the ball. Dicko there was going to play that ball back, and just as he's played that ball back, it looked like Giroud was going to get in. Clark has read it and just managed to bring the ball down. Chelsea have the ball midway inside Hull's half.
Willian, right side, goes back to Fabregas, who I think may well see his number up shortly. And now everybody is in the Hull half as we approach the hour mark, and Chelsea in their blue attacking the Matthew Harding end, and Willian drifts past players like they're not there. He's on a hat-trick, he dinks it through. Hudson-Odoi pulls it back towards Giroud, couldn't quite poke it in from inside the 6-yard box there. It's cleared but not very far. Chelsea build again with Fabregas, who's pointing to where he wants it.
Chelsea now just toying with Hull, aren't they? Hull, see the way that Hull are playing back there, Ben? They had 5 across, 6 across the back now. Now they're trying to break out.
Kyle Scott's coming on for his Chelsea debut.
Played.
As Fabregas plays it back to Willy Caballero.
And Padu again does enough. Lets Dicko off. The ball goes back into Cesc.
Kyle Scott sporting a mullet that he's had for 3 or 4 years now. I mean, it wasn't in fashion that long ago. It probably wasn't even in fashion when Kyle was born, bless him, but good luck, young man. He's about to come on as Willian flicks it for Giroud. And now Zappacosta has it into Fabregas, and now back to Rudiger. For Fabregas, would you think? He's that sort of player, midfield ball player.
I don't see the point in keeping Cesc on the pitch any longer, Ben. Someone's smoking.
I know, I did think the same thing. It is Fabregas coming off, by the way, the information we're getting from down there. Here is Fabregas with his last few touches. Well, it was a tired leg he stuck out for the pen. He's done his damage with some wonderful passing. His ball to Pedro is my favourite Chelsea pass of the year.
Oh, that's a free kick, referee.
Giroud is down on his bum, looking at the assistant.
He was held. Yeah. It was just one of those. The defender does enough and gets in front of...
I think it was Michael Dawson.
Well, his assistant's got... Anyway, here we go.
So Cesc Fabregas takes the hairband off. He can rest up those legs to take on his former mates of Barcelona. And it's welcome to Stamford Bridge, Kyle Scott.
Well,
ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
This couldn't have gone any better so far for Antonio. He's been able to make the subs. If you had asked him before kick-off, how could this first half go? He'd probably said, you know what, I'll take 4-0 and I'll make the substitutions on or around about the hour mark. Well, it's worked out probably to textbook. Giroud, almost certainly now, I cannot believe that you'll be keeping him on any longer than 65, giving Morata at least 25 minutes.
Yeah, leaving Dujon, Sterling and Trevor Chalobah gutted, because it means they're not going to be getting on. Hull, defending now, goes back with Marshall. No, that's just a part of it.
Scott
he's been on the bench far more than Trev, so and he went on pre-season. So absolutely, he's, if you like, if you're talking sort of seniority amongst junior ranks, if that isn't too much of a contradiction, it would absolutely be the next cab off the rank would be Kyle. Morata is still doing some warming up down there, and Drinkwater now doing the closing down. Wonder if he might decide to break a little more. Carl Scott isn't really a break from midfield and score goals type. He's just gone in and had to pull out of a 50-50 with Kevin Stewart. It's a good job he did. Hull have the ball on the far side. They play it up to Dicko. It comes back now to Evandro, and Carl Scott gets the wrong side of him, and then Tony Rudiger comes in with a bit of help from Carl Scott, and surely that's a foul, referee.
That's all right.
On Rudiger, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's one of 2 or 3 fouls that could have taken place there, and Antonio Rudiger gets his big frame in between him and the ball, and the free kick has been given. It's taken quickly. Carl Scott is on it. He's had an interesting start to the game, Carl Scott. He's had 1 or 2 simple touches, but 1 or 2 where he's perhaps been bumped in and around, so he's getting a taste of what it's like for first-team action.
Seems to have been around the academy setup forever, Kyle. It's one of those...
He's a runner.
He needed a runner.
See what he was looking for there, Ben? Everyone's made the same run towards him. What he's looking for is one of those and then go in behind. And the run never happened for him. But he had time to pick his pass. It's, you know, he had time to get his head up and pick it.
He has a wonderfully fruity background, Kyle. I think he still can represent 4 different nations, if he so desires, internationally. He's got ancestry from all over, including
just
both the US and Canada.
To do there, Ben. He's come into that space. Luckily, I'm going to say luckily, well played by Rudiger.
Yes.
And also Gary. They've come across and narrowed the gap that he left. Did you see the way they went in? As soon as he goes back in, they split. But well played him. He's recognised I can't go any further. I can't affect the ball. He drops back in.
I was watching that because you've got me on Ampadu watch. It's educational from you and him, a centre-half masterclass for Cundy and Ampadu.
Whenever I played the 3, I was always one of the either side.
Did you play it much?
I played the 3
Ipswich.
at Ipswich, I did. Yeah. And Crystal Palace when I was there for a period. So the role for me was very easy. Either get in front, you can gamble. The role behind is so important. Because
so what were you, right of the 3?
I was right of the 3.
Who was generally your middleman then?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. What, any of them? Venus? Mowbray?
Tony Mowbray was the middle of the three.
Right. They're now doing very well. Blackburn, who Hull knocked out in the last round. Otherwise he'd have been here. We all could have had a chat about it.
Yeah, he was the one. He was the experienced one. He couldn't run, but in that role there, you don't necessarily have to. I was his legs, Ben. He wouldn't want my legs now, that's for sure. Certainly not my right one.
Who with the left? Venus?
Mark Venus?
Yeah. Venus, Mowbray and Cundy. Yeah, it's like Christensen and Aspilicueta
really
and Cahill. Beautifully done. Zappacosta and Willian, and then tucked back to David Marshall by McDonald, the covering defender, and Marshall clears under a bit of pressure from Giroud, and still down there.
Haven't really seen Hudson-Odoi, have we, at the moment?
No, that's to be the disappointment of the half, actually.
It's been one of those games that it's just kind of passed him by a little bit. There's not been, in all honesty, that many opportunities for him to stretch his legs. Kick to Chelsea. Scott's over it, plays a little short one with William and gets the ball back. And that's a free kick for three.
Stand up if you hate Tottenham is the shout from the shed lower. Any excuse. Just in. Oh, Carl Scott's just passed up.
Scott there.
A very dangerous one, and Irvine's picked it. And he's into the box and he shots with his left boot, and it surely deflected, surely off. Ampadu, well defended, by the way. And Carl Scott puts a hand up to say sorry.
This is something you learn at a very, very early age. Do not play square balls across.
Yes.
And it's amazing, really, that despite the fact the education that he's had, going to a game like this, how you do think you'd probably never ever see him do that in academy games or at PL2 games at all. Yet he comes here and he makes that slight error, and it was nearly punished. But it's part of his education.
Hull corner from the shed end. It's a poor one onto the near post that's headed out by Danny Drinkwater, and then Hudson-Odoi was just about to get going, but it was put out of play for a throw by the substitute, actually, John Turrell. Yes, I want to see more of Hudson-Odoi. He's had 20 minutes and we've not really seen him at all. One nice little pirouette on the halfway line, but I want to see him running with the ball at his feet. That's what we want to see, isn't it? And I think Morata must be coming pretty soon. But meanwhile, Dicker's into the box. Oh, good save, Cavaliera, from a tight angle. Otherwise, that was 4-1. That's twice he's stopped it from being 4-1. Well done, Willie.
Yeah, he's done well. He come out. It was a narrow angle. Just trying to see there. The architects of Rome downfall.
Yeah, Zappacosta it was, Jason, entirely, to be honest, to blame. But,
well played, Willie, again.
Right, Morata is getting ready down there and is about to come on, but not before this latest Hull corner. Well, obviously they're not going to be getting back into the tie, but they have threatened to score as Dawson nearly makes something out of that corner as well. That's neatly passed out, though, and the break is on. Great ball, Kyle Scott. Hudson-Odoi racing through. Willian's in the middle. Zappacosta's with him. Here's Zappacosta. Now Willian, chance for the hat-trick. Oh, the block's in. It's not over yet, though. Zappacosta drives it from a tight angle. That's a really good stop from Marshall. Fingertips, corner. Well done, Scott.
Well, it's a brilliant breakaway. Callum Hudson-Odoi recognises that you've got two over. It's a brilliant pass. Zappacosta plays it in. Willian cuts back. He should have pulled the trigger the first time.
I'm surprised he didn't on his right, Jason.
Cuts back on his left. And in the end, the challenge comes in.
On his favoured right leg, as you say, but he dropped the shoulder to pull it onto the left foot. Giroud off, Morata on, as predicted, although perhaps a little later than predicted. 69, I mean, he's got 20 minutes. So Alvaro, 15 the other day, 21 minutes here, and then start against Gerard Piqué et al.
Well, it's very difficult to try and read what is going on and what potentially could happen on Tuesday evening here. If I was to put a pound of candy money on it, it would be that Morata would start.
I'll tell you what, Giroud has played very well in his 2 games, and he scored tonight. He's had a hand in 2 others. I don't think he could have done any more than he's done to say hello. I don't think you have a first-choice striker here at Chelsea anymore. You've got 2 good ones.
Chelsea fans not happy that Zappacosta's gone all the way back and I'm kind of with them a little bit. It's a short corner, and you know, 4-0 up, going back to the goalkeeper.
Yes, if ever there's a time we don't mind you having a crack from 30 yards, I mean, this would be it.
Or kick the ball coming
yeah,
out
absolutely.
on the opposite side.
As in, you don't need to play it safe. It's 4-0, like you say. Hull are about to make a change as well, by the way. Meanwhile, Willian on the burst.
The afterburners were on there, weren't they?
Just
oh, brilliant challenge there. It's a wonderful challenge from Scott.
And then he's lost it, but he did win the ball back brilliantly.
And well
wins
played.
the throw. And
well played.
And it must be nice to have an entire West Stand stand and applaud you like that. Not something I'm never going to experience, probably you either. But it was well done.
It's a good
tackle.
well-timed
tackle.
It's a good time. Yep. He's gone to ground. When you go to ground like that, Ben, you've got to win it. And it reminded me a little bit there of Ethan Ampadu's first challenge when he made his debut. He's gone thundering. Remind me, is it Forest?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Jermaine Defoe. Yes, it was Forest, and the player he legally challenged for Forest, whose name escapes me, had to go off actually because of it. Who was it? Hull change, by the way. Noah Dicko is coming off, and it is Fraser Campbell that is coming on, I think. Yes, it is Fraser Campbell, who's played here in the many a shirt.
Has he scored against Chelsea, Fraser Campbell?
Yes.
Was it?
Go on.
I'm going to say Hull.
First time around?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was.
That's what I'm going to say.
He's played it for Tottenham, didn't score. Played it for Sunderland, didn't score. And a second spell at Hull. And
I might be wrong.
Kevin Stewart coming forward here and giving the ball away, but fouled as he did. So they've got a shooting chance here. It's about 28 yards out. 27-28 and very central. Nice shooting position. There was Danny Drinkwater coming in. Some needless foul really from Danny there. See, he's one who had a chance tonight. If he could have sort of really stamped his authority on midfield, that'd be interesting. We know Bakayoko's been having some teething problems.
Yeah, it's not been the start to his Chelsea career. I would have thought that I'm guessing certainly him. We thought we'd see. I thought there'd been much more involvement and certainly had more minutes on the pitch in big games. Anyway, Hull have a free kick.
It's Evandro, or it's Terrell. It's Evandro actually, and he clips it over. It's headed out by Morata. Scott's going to need some help. He's over on this side in front of Antonio. So he's going to need some help. Gets ridiculously taken out by John Terrell. Completely needless on this near touchline free kick.
It's a really poor decision. Where's he going?
Oh, what a ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Carl Scott was actually in a bit of trouble there, and Terrell's just made life easy for him.
Absolutely made his mind up for him.
20 or so to play. I want to see Hudson-Odoi get in this game. He's looking to try and get on the ball. Max Clark has gone with him, and the ball is back with Caballero.
He's striding forward.
Nice flick round the corner. William to Morata. Williams just made that ball his own. I don't know how. Morata's into the box. Oh, it's a dangerous moment, but a good bit of toe poke defending.
Nearly.
Just when he's thinking about pulling the trigger, Terrell gets it.
Ethan Ampadu set this up, Ben. He was the one that recognised that the space opened up. You know what? I'm going to go into there. Played the little 1-2 with William, who flicked it in around the corner that him and Morata have that relationship with Hazard, and their 1-2 nearly paid off. So we've literally gone from the.
Oh, nearly an own goal.
Nearly gone from Caballero right up within 3 passes up to the other end and scored, but a corner.
And that corner came in, and Clark sort of sliced the clearance behind into his own side netting, and it's Willian hasn't even had the chance to move. He didn't need to. Over there on the far side, the Blues' left wing at the Matthew Harding end. He'll have another go from this corner. So often you get a blowout first half of 3 or 4-0. It ends up being that at full time as well. It's funny how intensity levels can... Oh, hang on, Gary Cahill was nearly in for 5 there, and just as we're in the middle of the sentence.
Got no idea what...
Carl Scott wins another corner by Jackson.
Trying there, Ben.
Well, some sort of elaborate flick. Just seeing it again. He made the room brilliantly, and he tried it with the outside of his right boot. Didn't want to swing his left at it.
Surely that you naturally walk on that with your left.
Oh, Zinedine Cahill? No, I mean, I don't know what he was doing either. We'll ask him later. Maybe he'll come out and see us. Willian to take the corner from the right this time.
Fair play to Hull. They're trying to defend the 4-0 defeat. Why wouldn't you leave 3 up? Why wouldn't you?
Well, quite. It's headed out. Shoot, they say, to Danny Drinkwater, and he does. And the half volley comes through a crowd. David Marshall in slow-mo.
Has to take the deflection, Ben.
Pushes it out for a corner.
I can't help but think this has taken a deflection. He's done well. Well, we didn't see it from that angle. This will tell us.
I think it might hit McDonald. Yes, it hits Michael Dawson. That's right. In which case that is a good save, because it was going central, then it got pushed wider. Willian loses out from the short corner. Everyone is in the Hull half. Zappacosta, he's thinking, where can I get sprinting? I want to get going. Roadrunner. As Willian goes back to Tony Rudiger.
Yeah, Hudson-Odoi is, you know, I suppose as a young boy that the game's going around you, you often hear about players not getting involved. Find a way. In-game, manage your own game. How can you get involved more?
Drop a bit deeper, pick up a pocket of space in between midfield and defence.
They're the sort of things you often see Hazard do, isn't it? When he drops deep, we often say, do you know what? He's dropping a bit deep for my life, but he wants to get involved. And just looking at Hudson-Odoi there, he's not done anything wrong. This is not a criticism.
Oh, he's just come back to get it and flicked it round the corner, turned on the afterburners and then just run out of space.
Yeah,
and his tackle, but that was fabulous.
It's about finding areas on the pitch that potentially you could pick the ball up. That's a little bit like what I was just trying to allude to.
That was lovely, wasn't it? That little flick he just did.
Yeah, and you can see
round the defender.
He wants the ball and say, I want to run at you.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
Yes, I'm not going to be subtle about it. I want to get the ball, I'm going to run at you, and you aren't going to be able to deal with me when I do.
Yes.
That's basically what's going to happen here, if he can get the ball. Hull have got it at the moment. Coming forward, fair play. They haven't caved in. They kept doing their jobs very well, actually, in the second half. I mean, I don't know if we should commend people for doing their jobs, but you know what I mean. They haven't packed in, and they could easily have done so. And it could have got astronomically painful in terms of the scoreline, but it has stayed as it was at the break. Ampadu, cool and calm, pops it off to his left. Gary Cahill pointing where he wants to get it to. Hudson-Odoi is followed all the way by Mailer.
That's nice, he's done well there.
Yep, he has.
That was actually a difficult touch on the outside of his left foot.
Near the touchline too.
He's done well, keep ball possession. And Chelsea now, we're being forced. Oh, Caballero, what have you done there?
Dreadful clearance straight to Jackson Irvine, and Morata never had a chance of getting on the end of that. Diamond down the right wing. Goes back to David Mailer, who's missed a penalty this half. Mailer clips it in, left-footed. Ampadu heads it out. And the volley by John Terrell from the penalty spot is low and quite comfortably gathered by Willy Caballero. But to be fair, they've had 2 or 3 goal-scoring chances in this half, Chase.
Yeah, no, there was
the header, the penalty, that one there, the other Caballero save from Nuadika. They could easily have scored.
Yeah, they could have done, and perhaps should have done, really, given the chances they've had. There's not been gilt-edged other than the penalty. It's a nice ball that from Rudiger. Just sent it away from around the 2 players that were closing him down, but in the end they defended that well. Morata's come to the I mean, Morata's not been able to get involved either, has he?
No, not really. He's not going to look up at the clock, ladies and gentlemen, but Jason Cundy is going to tell you what time it is on the pitch. How many minutes have gone?
I would say about 10 or 11 minutes.
So what are you saying is on the clock?
79.
79:01. Very good.
How do I know? I know how I know, because the stewards have made their way around.
They have. They've just taken that. Jason loves pointing it out. He's like a kid with an aeroplane. He loves pointing it out when the stewards are out, Ben.
Well, do you know what, though, Ben? It's a significant marker when you're playing a game such as against Manchester United, as we were back in November, and you see them come out and you're winning 1-0. It's like, OK, 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, now we're in
when you're winning 4-0.
Squeaky bum time, yeah.
When you're winning 4-0, it doesn't matter so much.
No, it doesn't. Hull coming forward down the inside left channel with Toral. And well done, Carl Scott. Read that nicely, actually. Came back and guessed where the pass was going. Willian has popped it round the outside of Max Clark and then has gone and collected it and then has popped it infield again off Kevin Stewart. He is too good. I don't wish to be patronising, but Willian is too good for Hull.
Too quick.
He's too fast for Hull.
Too good.
In fact, he scored a very good goal against them last year. And you may remember, people, that Hull away was the first game where 3 at the back was played from the start, and it wasn't very good to begin with. Rob Snodgrass hit a free kick that Courtois pushed over, and Chelsea were a bit wobbly, but ended up winning it. Williams scored a good goal, and I think Costa got a good goal.
They were identical goals.
Yes, good one, good finishes into the far corner. And yeah, we'll talk about half-time at Arsenal, which is where it began, but the first game from the start was Hull away.
True.
At the start of October.
True story, Ben, true story.
True story, true story. Yes. And Willian, I mean, Max Clark there must have had a 3-yard head start and a 10-yard race, and he lost
body
it.
Strength as well to go past that.
And we're seeing his goal again here on the monitor. It's absolutely beautiful. And then his other goal, which was pretty beautiful. Giroud had another hand in. This one right foot. Look at the curl. He's bent both of them quite magnificently. Low and off the post with the right foot, and high and into the corner off the left peg.
Just seeing Ethan Hunter do there, Ben, the way he didn't get sucked into the... Really impressive, really impressive.
Well,
he doesn't go...
I was just going to say, that's a decision-making thing, which is amazing.
He knows if he goes there and the ball gets played back, he's out of position. He can't affect the ball, goes so far, and then drops himself back.
Leicester City have beaten Sheffield United, by the way. Oh, Carl Scott with a late challenge there. Did he get booked for that? I think he might have done. I was too involved in Jason's tackling embrace to see whether he actually got the card.
It would be good if we can perhaps at some stage look at things that he does there. He doesn't... OK, here's the example. Gary Cahill against Bournemouth, where he gets sucked in to Callum Wilson and then gets drawn into an area that leaves space in behind. He doesn't... He seems to recognise the danger that he's leaving as opposed to what he's trying to solve.
I know, someone born in 2000 has worked out how to do that. Remarkable. Someone's on the fags again. It's definitely been outlawed for quite some time. Anyway, there's a shooting chance at the... Oh, free header. But leaning backwards, Dicko heads it. Carl Scott, by the way, was booked. And what I was going to say to you was that Leicester City have beaten Sheffield United and are in the quarter-finals. And Chelsea, in a minute, will be confirmed as joining them there. The first two names in, Leicester and Chelsea. We expect... Well, Man United got Huddersfield, and they've lost there already, so come on, Huddersfield.
That's not going to happen.
How are Arsenal doing? Oh, no, they're out. How Liverpool... No, they're out.
A replay would be good if United... You know, Huddersfield hit a little bit of decent form. I saw them recently against Bournemouth. They played exceptionally well in the second half. And they really did take the game to Bournemouth. They were excellent. That was last Sunday or Sunday.
And ideally, Rochdale will take Tottenham to another derby, another replay. Sorry, just like Newport County did.
Yeah, we'd rather Spurs stay in there, wouldn't we?
Oh, of course.
Have a replay.
I'd even rather they get past Juve. Honestly, I think it's a good thing. And then have a couple of legs against someone else. Obviously, crushing heartbreak to come soon after, but just as many games and competitions and travelling and weary legs as possible, please. April the 1st they come here, and then the last home game of the season, Liverpool come here. Oh my goodness, how big are they in terms of who gets top 4? But at the moment we're talking about last 8, and Chelsea are in it, to be confirmed by an Andre Mariner whistle about 10 minutes from now. 2 for Willian, who's still on a hat-trick. 1 for Giroud.
It's got very cold then.
Yes, numb toes. Diamond in possession in front of Antonio Conte in his yellow and black stripes, wriggling away from the challenge of Zappa Costa, just about keeping his feet, and back with Clark, and squares it to Michael Dawson. All 10 numb toes in the next round, yeah?
Yes, and both heels.
And both heels. 20 toes between you and me. Let's hope we're here again. By the way, for your diaries, quarter-final weekend is currently slated, which will now go, for a 12:30 Saturday kickoff away to Burnley. So that game, that's the 17th of March, will move somewhere. It'll be a midweek, probably buried in May somewhere. Right, when we don't need it or want it.
That turns into a very tricky game all of a sudden, doesn't it? Midweek or at Burnley.
Exactly.
It's a tricky one, that.
When they haven't had Cup and European commitments. But I'd have thought, well, there's an international break to come as well, but we'll try and see if we can get that plonked in the most...
That's the weekend after the international break.
Yes, yes, I was just trying to think where you would want to put that Burnley game if you did have a choice, if you were negotiating it with Burnley. I mean, actually been negotiating it with the TV folk because it's a TV game at 12:30 as well, but yeah, that's when it was supposed to be. So you can scrap that out. You're not going up to Burnley at 5 in the morning anymore, folks. So you can be pleased with that. Mind you, you never know. You might be going to Rochdale instead if they've beaten Spurs. Could be a Friday night. Could be anything. Hudson-Odoi. Now Jackson Irvine.
That's a booking.
Reached in.
Yeah, that's a booking.
And definitely got the man. He might have got a bit of ball.
He's got no ball. He's got loads of knee.
Did he get loads of knee? Did he?
He knows exactly what he's doing here.
Let's have a look. Oh, well spotted, yes. And a chunk of shin as well. Over on that far touchline, Hudson-Odoi is just getting a chance to run. Jackson Irvine, actually, the players I've not seen in the flesh before, and there's quite a few of them in this whole lineup, I think Jackson Irvine put in a pretty good performance, actually. A very willing runner, going both ways. Great engine on him. Ponytailed number 4 for Hull. They will go back to their Championship survival bid. You've got 2 clubs, I mean, this doesn't happen very often. Hull and Sunderland, 2 clubs who were Premier League last year, bang in trouble for going down further still. Incredible. Willian in possession inside right channel. Still wants that hat-trick.
Just look at Hudson-Odoi there on the half-turn. Can he get his body shape right? Get that ball into him. He's coming into areas, though, Ben, where he can affect the game.
Scott to Danny Drinkwater in the centre circle, Ampadu to Rudiger. Chelsea closing on that clean sheet. And again, Ampadu, I mean, the boy's ready. The boy's ready. At 17, he's ready.
Looking back at the Bournemouth game now, when you and I, Andreas went off injured, and we said, who would you put on? And for me, there had to be, the only choice had to be, well, I say the only choice, but that would have been one of them. And, you know, Gary went in the middle there, and we saw Dave Azpilicueta stay on that right-hand side that you've seen tonight, how naturally is.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen again. It was before they knew for sure, Jason, that Andreas was going to be OK for West Brom, which was on Monday night. On Friday and Saturday, Ampadu was training in there. So I think it was going to be him, if needed, if Andreas hadn't made it. So I think Conte is now... And it takes something to earn the trust of, especially Italian coaches who don't like to risk youngsters, I think. They don't play him a lot. He certainly hasn't. He played 2 teenagers in league play, in it ever. Here's Morata, who hasn't done much since he came on. Left side, nice touch, wins a throw near the corner flag.
Yeah, it's a little difficult for Morata. When you're coming into a game and you're 4-0 up, and the game is over...
The intensity levels, yeah.
And there's been 1 or 2 subs before you've come on. It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, because there's not that tempo about the game.
No.
Dan Batty has come on for Jackson Irvine, by the way. Hull's final change, just a nominal one there. Now, a couple of minutes as Willian shoots! Oh, he's hit the post with the same shot that he scored his 2nd goal with. Right foot, low curler. This one off the upright and out instead of off the upright and in. What a shame.
Yeah, he's done his little step over. He's got a yard of space on the edge of the box. Marshall there's nothing he can do. And there's a brilliant angle there. Hasn't quite got the same amount of weight. It's a brilliantly struck. Well, he'd be desperate for his hat-trick. He probably would have known that he's getting 90 minutes here, Ben, and would have felt after the first 45 that maybe the second 45 would have presented just one more real golden opportunity. It hasn't happened for him, for his hat-trick. His first hat-trick, I believe, in a Chelsea shirt.
It would have been. We've got 1 minute, and we believe there will be 2 added on.
There's still time.
Well, this is about the time that Willy Caballero usually concedes, of course. Maybe I think he's... Do you think he's broken his shed end jinx with that penalty save tonight? I think he has. He'll be all right there forevermore. He'll love it there now. Diamond, he knew he couldn't go back to Marshall because William was close. The pigeon catcher still running hard in minute 90.
Yes, the pigeon catcher.
It's cold toes, Jace, but don't worry, those cold toes are all in round 6. By the way, this will be the 10th year in 11 that Chelsea through to the quarters. That is a stunning record.
Bradford?
Yep. The one that no one saw coming, least of all 2-0 up at half-time. Oh, Hull coming forward here, 3-on-2. Goal-scoring chance. Why did he pass? Ampadu's nearly scored an own goal. He's put it back unwittingly to Caballero. Why would you pass up a shooting opportunity at the shed end in the 90th minute? Noah Dicko has squared it when he could have finished it off. Now, Hudson-Odoi off and running through the middle. As we go into added time, good ball. Zappacosta, oh, bad ball.
Took a deflection, I think. It wasn't a great ball, but it took a deflection. Gary got sucked in there, Gary, and they kind of give the opportunity there, but I don't know whether he's not had a shot or whether he's... Is this a cross that take a deflection? No, it doesn't.
No, it's straight at the keeper. It's a bad ball, straight at David Marshall.
I was making excuses for him there.
I knew you were. I was hoping you were right, but you were wrong. Just a bad cross from Zappacosta. It's a shame because they were all arriving. Willian, Hudson-Odoi, Morata. So, well, the plot thickens really because Alvaro's had 20 minutes where he's not really had a chance to do anything. This plus 15, can you start Barcelona? Can you? I mean, yes, you can, but... OK, if you're manager right now, do you pick Giroud or Morata to start against Barcelona here on Tuesday?
Asking me?
Yes.
Giroud.
And who do you think Conte will pick?
I'll answer that in a second.
Danny Drinkwater coming forward. His forward pass cannons off two hot players.
I actually don't know.
OK. Shall we ask him?
Yeah, yeah, well, you can ask him, I'm not.
I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to give anything away, nor should he. Oh, we'll play Morata, by the way.
Down the left side, maybe this will buy him his ticket. Into the box. Oh, no. Tries a little cross. He didn't really have anything he could do there.
I don't know what it would do in terms of the way that Barcelona are going to play against. I don't think it gives anything too much away. You know, we're talking... two number 9s in the old fashionable sense.
Barcelona are going to go, he's playing, in that case, we're going to play 1-1-8. Yeah, exactly. It's not going to, wouldn't make any difference at all. No. They're not a side that have ever changed how they play for the opposition. No. Good noise from those who are here inside Stamford Bridge, just waiting for the whistle now. Andre Mariner has looked at his watch, and he's looked again, and now he's blown his whistle. The first half damage was plenty. As it turns out, that's all it was. 2 goals for Willian, 1 for Olivier Giroud, who impressed again, set up by the other new man, Emerson. And Pedro scored my favourite goal of the game and one of my favourite goals of this season in between the two Willian crackers. Willy Caballero, meanwhile, saved a shed-in penalty. So it's a clean sheet and there's progress. Barcelona next, but before that, Chelsea will be in the draw for the last 8 at the FA Cup yet again. Brilliant, well done, easy. Chelsea 4-0.
Chelsea.
Cup Kings, Chelsea have done it.
Petrescu, the right fullback, leads the charge. Oh, lovely goal.
Leboeuf, and Leboeuf has delivered. And still to Leandro Flo. This could be 2. It is. Brilliant skill by Zola. What a magnificent goal. Dennis-wise, equaliser. What a moment.
And Lassalle, a great goal for Chelsea.
Sinclair making his run. Brianna.
Chelsea-Barcelona is a classic.
It's one of my favourite games playing.
Terry's header, and it's in! Michael Essien's got it, and it's absolute heartbreak for Chelsea. Fernando Torres has done it!
That is the one! Gianfranco Zola! It's Gianfranco Zola flow! 2-0 Chelsea! Is it really 3-0 to Chelsea? penalty.
I've never experienced a better atmosphere of Stamford Bridge.
Figo scored, and in the end it turned out to be devastating for us, that goal.
Climax! 6-4 on aggregate for Barca. The yellow card which means a red. Eto'o, 2-1.
3-0 up after 20-25 minutes. The whole crowd must be thinking, what the hell's going on here? Ronaldinho stamping his authority on the game.
It's Terry's header, and it's in! The captain's done it again! A red card for Del Horno, and Eto'o may well have sent Barcelona into the quarter-finals. Here's Ashley Cole.
I remember just trying to whip it into the edge of the box, and Didier turned Puyol and he just whipped it in the keeper's left.